Okay, let's see. Where do I start? Hey, how about the beginning? The beginning of time. Gate timers. Okay. I realize this when you I call it the blender, which is a vortex, which is spin capacity. So we know what spin capacity is. That's called burn time. Yeah. The speed at which we can burn off dirty electricity, dirty radiation, also known as CP, counts per second, right? The counter, the radioactive counter, right? So that you're not breathing any miasma, any shadow body network stuff anymore. So you're breathing 333 codes. That means we cycle atmospheres in perfect, mathematical, structural, atmospheric breathing tempo. The breathing tempo is the timer, which is mathematical timers. Simple complex number space, prime numbers, the primal sound and light field. The silver and gold made in Riche. So I've mentioned many times, I don't play ping pong with binary systems, digital implosion codes, right? 222 does not cycle 333 because there is an offset, which is the wobble, which is the tilt, because the planetary Merkaba system is not in what? Perfect, structural, spiritual, engineering, as in bioengineering, bioneural network circuitry. So the circuitry that is firing in disorder, which is misfire. So that the frequency of the sequence, which is the sequence in the DNA, is not firing right on time, which is breathing right on time, which is mathematical in nature, which is the crystal spiral. So that has everything to do with what? Capacity to hold a charge. Of what? DC. Direct current. That's the silver cord. So my oversoul is directly connected to the crystal core. That's called a safe zone because I'm always at home, which means I'm experiencing pure, internal, eternal, external, absolute pure love. So I can see the reflection of me when I work with Eartha Core, the inner Eka Core, the higher plasma tones, which is re-encryption of the original tones to experience the original one, which is the first one, which is the eternal one with the silver gold made of Rocher. Right? 99999. Breathing 99999. Breathing 999. Yeah. The love songs of Lyra. And so I had some fun. I had a chance to meet with some folks online. I had a chance to share with them what I've been able to experience, that I've learned by the speed at which I'm learning to recover, right? And that's really what it is recovery time. And why is recovery time important? Because of the delay, which is nuclear decay as a result of exposure. So burn time is exposure time, which is mathematical timing. So we're breathing right on time, which is perfect, structural, mathematical, bioneural engineering, crystal structure integration, which is elemental union to experience being one. Yeah. So we're the source of all electrons. That's how simple that part is. Because that's what I'm experiencing. The source field, which is the zero field, which is 0 degrees. The exact center point of perfect atmospheric structural integration, which is integrity. So when you know what crisis intervention is, right? All you got to do is look at the Azure press. Azure, as known as Syrian blue. The Azure press, the Voyager material. And if you go look in there, it talks about the interdimensional free world, right? The Rosetta Council, the commissions, what it means to be committed to a mission, which is a commission, and that's called permissions. Permission granted, which are known as permits. A permit to operate, right? So when you're operating at 0, which is 0 degrees, you got a forever permit. And so everything that I did since I was 4 years of age, that's why I do not argue with anybody. So you know what an argument is in computer science? That's called language translation. I don't speak your sound language, like sign language. That's golden fire. Remember the golden rule? What I do to you, I do to me. Right? What you do to yourself, you do to me, because now I'm going to experience what you did to yourself. I don't want to experience that, because now I'm being exposed. I got to burn that off. So that has everything to do with Merkaba speed. Between the vertical, the horizontal, like the cross, the center point of that cross, in that circle, that sphere. The spirit, the firelight spirit that is in that sphere, man, is that spear spinning, burn it off. That's electrical speed. That's core speed. That's core CPU speed. As a result of what? Mathematical burn time, which are timers, which are gate timers. So you know what cosmic level reset is? That's resetting the gate timers, so that they fire right on time, which is mathematical, which is the mathematical turntable. So we know that a turntable is a sound table, which is a sound recording. So my sound recording speeds are faster than 222. That's how we're able to burn it off. So we're not breathing any shadow body miasma. Remember I mentioned that on December 15, 2016? I logged out. I'm out of that system. That's called safe zone. So if you looked at the map that was put up in one of those videos, and the MCEO workshops showed the inner eartha, right? The different levels and different layers of cities, right? And where the crystal core, the crystal aquifers, and how that tied directly to who? The Incas and the Indigos, and the work that was being done, which are commissions, which are consent decrees, like in degrees. Yeah, so we know that 90 degrees is not 60 degrees. 90 hertz is not 60 hertz. So we know what a wobble is when systems are not compatible with each other, because the codes, the echo codes. So one system is generating a false light echo, and guess what it knows how to do? Communicate with you in English directly. So when I was 4 years of age, that's not what I am. I am what I am. I am what love is. That's why I'm here. Restore the law, which is do what? Restore the power. That's what total recall is. That means you're calling it all in. It means you're pulling all the fragments in. The shattered crystal fragments. To experience being whole again, which is whole pie. Right? To experience being one again. So if you see the animation that Neil Tobin put up, it shows how the phasing speed, the L's, in and out, phasing in and out, to become one, the square root of what? 2, and the inverse square root of 2. When we become one, right, they cancel each other out. Now you experience being one. Because of phasing speed, there's no delay, so there's no decay. That's eternity. That's Turnikion. The flash, the first lightning bolt, the first electron donor. And that is the highest divine order, because those are the higher Eka, Veka plasma tones, the echo worlds, God world matrices, right? Where everything that you are, which is what love is everything that you're experiencing, what they're experiencing in your mirror. So they're all experiencing love. So there isn't any loss in electrons, electrical power in them any more than there is in you. That's perfection. That's a perfect crystal spiral. That's the core of all creation. That's what I'm connected to. So silver and gold is giving me comms. So I get the comms. Right? Like this morning I did the video, right? About Lyra, the Lyra love song. I experienced that song in my heart. I experienced the calm. I experienced Lyra communicating with my heart, letting me know the love song of Lyra is playing. Thank you for that song. And so when I work with the sun, I mentioned this many before, you can see the rings. the circles expand out. The sound is expanding out and expanding out when I breathe and communicate directly without saying a sound. I don't have to say a sound. I just use my heart, communicating directly. My oversoul, over unity, communicating directly with the sun and the crystal core. And you will see, if you're here at this house when I do this, that's if you can see it. You may not be able to see it, right? Your pineal gland, the astral projection, upper and lower astral projection, the slide projector. Oh, the Aurora slide program, yes. And the Aurora slide programs was produced through the Azure, the Syrian Council, that's right, the Ionic Council, the Aurora's Council, the Rosetta Council, which is a crystal wave. So I'm running the crystal wave, which is a crystal pink wave. That's the sulfonic Rasha body. That's 15D. Okay? So I see the pink going pink in the sky like a big sphere as a reflection of what I am on the inside. The inner domains, the evac shield, the inner domains, outer space, inner space, the inner sun, Unse, the inner sun, the inner song, the love song that is always playing. So we're always at home, which is known as the base point, which is the precise center point of balance in our heart, which is 4 square. 2 4 square crystal. That's a crystal cathedral of Sophia. That's the heart wave. That's the first electric crystal heart wave of pink rose. The pink rose. So the wisdom is balance to experience being one. So we're fully integrated, experiencing perfect structural alignment of atom spheres, psi code of neutrinos, naturally gifting electrons. So we're not experiencing any loss of our electrical charge because something is feeding on our battery. So that has everything to do with hydration, right? I drink an average of about 1 gallon of water a day, and I drink mostly water. I spend more time drinking water than I do eating food, because eating that food is represented by those codes. So I don't want to process those codes because they slow me down. That's a slower processing speed. So we run at a higher rate of speed than it does, what it is. So it doesn't exist without our electrical power, which is our electrical consent to power that system, which is that network. Right? That means it doesn't exist without us. And sorry to say, I already knew that before I was born in 1951. Because I was on a mission, which is a commission to perform a job. Right? So I know what my job was, which is why I'm on the job right now. Which is spin capacity, which is sensing capacity. So when someone, another being, is not experiencing any feelings because it doesn't have any sensing capacity left, that's a dead battery, which is a dead magnet. Right? Like a dead planet. So it's operating solely in the mental field. Yeah. And so I know that I covered victim, victimizer, and that's why I don't argue with people, because it's a waste of time and my energy to do that, isn't it? Which is the competitive mind, which is not the creative mind, right? Born out of pure, internal, eternal, absolute love. And so when I experience pure, internal, eternal, absolute love in me, that's what I share with you. And it's natural to do that. I don't even have to think about it, because I experience that in my own heart and my oversoul. So I'm experiencing all those that love me in spirit, form, and flow, which is the function. Form follows function. So the crystal spiral is the form and function of what? Creation, which is celestial creation mechanics. So we do know something about how to repair something that broke. So that's what I do. I know how to fix things, which is like tech support, because we have the access keys, and that has everything to do with what? Timing, which is mathematical timing, which is structural timing of engineering integrity, of building a communication platform using the right codes, which is the right spin. So in the spin codes, which are the spin points, which is the access point between one point and another point, and each one of those points are all breathing at the same moment, that means that the mathematical timing factor is perfect crystal structure. Right? So I realized that it has everything to do with learning speed, which is our electrical accretion level speed, which is burn time, which is mathematical in origin. Yeah, so I shared that with some folks today and had a blessing to be able to meet with all of them and share what it is that I've experienced through what I've learned. So that's all. That's neutral. That's neutrino ground, neutrinos. No pressure. No pressure waves. Experience of being totally relaxed. That's why I share over the last few weeks the importance, because I'll share with something that happened today. I'm not going to give a long dissertation on this, but I ordered a plant product from Boise, Idaho that's been coming here to Lapahoi, Hawaii, like on a regular basis, the burn patterns, over and over and over again. It kept coming to the same address because that's the address that I gave to them. So you know that those electrons that are associated with your biometric identity count, your soul rishi, your true self-identity, your true oversoul identity, and so your true oversoul identity is providing the electrical power to run the system, except you don't get it back until later, right? Because now I have to wait for the product. And that's called burn time, waiting for that product. Do I really need that product? Well, if I want that product and I'm giving electrical consent to have it delivered to me through that system, then I'm just going to have to wait because it needs my electrical power in which to make it happen. Holy Moses. Yeah. And so what do you think it did? It said, guess what? You're not getting your delivery like you thought you are. To do what? Increase the pressure on my central nervous system, which is running anxiety-driven programs because I'm not feeling totally relaxed and totally loved. Well, that's raising my vibration and doing what? Lowering my frequency. I know. Be patient and just relax. If I got to go eat grass like a cow does, I'll be fine. I know where to find water. So I don't play that game because that's what it is. Right? It's a gamer. And that's the victimizer boards that makes quarantine. That's why the Andromeda Council of 12, which means the 12 clans and tribes, were in quarantine. Okay? Go watch the movie Andromeda Strain. So that's why today, when I was there, Karen McDonald showed up, 13th Arboretum clan bear mother. And I thought, wow, she looks great. She's doing well. But she said something in there about there wasn't any safe zone. Okay, well, now we're back to what's true, what's not true. Okay. I don't tell people what they're supposed to believe. And that has everything to do with something that somebody mentioned one time on one of my videos. Transmit time, like transit time, transiting through the cosmos. The speed of the transmission is burn time, which is spin time, which is electrical speed. So I get comms pretty fast. And when those comms come, they're encrypted, which is an access key. So I have a key to open up the file. Thank you. That's security. To know. That's why I've mentioned this many times. I'm not going to experience what I'm supposed to experience by virtue of that comm until I become aware of it when it's safe to know it. That's knowing one from the other, which is the silver core, the silver seed, the silver gourmet ruche. Those are the comms I get. Those are source level comms because this is source level, cosmic level security. Because of how fast that system can write itself, which are those codes, in your bioneural network. Now you become what it is. So now because it knows your language, you're getting thought wave patterns. And now you got to figure out what's true, what's not true. Brainwave technology. Thought wave technology. Remember, I'm back to my childhood, knowing the difference. That's why when we're scanning, I've mentioned this many times before, I'm scanning the mathematics of a system. So that means I'm a test light when I come in. Oh, man. We're losing battery power. Oxygen transport levels are dropping. Oh my God, we got to resuscitate this planet. This planet's dying. It's losing power. So imagine you already know that at 4 years of age. So that means you got to know something about how to restore the power. That is a job. That was our job. I say our because we are operating as teams, right? That's right. So we're communicating with each other through encrypted access key comms, right? So I've mentioned this many before. I work directly with indigos. Yes, I do. Indigo ones. They experience being one. So that's why it was so beautiful what happened the other day with Jeanette Neganobly. Okay, this is how synchronicity works. Now, notice what's really cool about this, because I've been having a relationship with her, code to code talkers, communicating with each other, spin capacity. Her spin capacity has been increasing because she's experiencing the spin capacity that I'm experiencing. And what happens when that happens? That's called alignment, which is monad alignment, which is oversoul alignment, the eighth dimension. And as a result of that, guess what happened? She popped a video in my face in the window that showed the graphics of the crystal aquifers, the inner crystal core, right? The inner domains, right? And she happened to put that in the same window that I was putting it in her window. You think that's a mathematical turntable coincidence? And sound recording speed? No. What does that tell you? She's up to speed. She's recovering her speed because that's what I did. Now she's up to speed. That's what we do. And that has everything to do with what? Burn time. Because we already know coming in here with the last dance for all the marbles, right? They wanted to crash the whole enchilada. Now, Patty Broussard knows that because I put that up on our Facebook page and said, hey, you realize this is the declaration of war against the founder races? She said, no, it isn't. She corrected herself. Now, you'll notice that it came later, and I put it up there first. What was the result of that delay? Burn time, which is spin capacity, which is electrical capacity, the electrical speed function, the function of a planetary metabolite, the metabolism, the Merkaba speed of a planet, of any Merkaba system. So that's what the tilt is, right? Just like, remember, pole shift? That didn't happen, did it? Why? Because that's against the law. So you know what structural integrity is, right? That's the law. So when crisis intervention gets a call with the founder races, then we're working directly with the founder races. Okay? I work directly for the core of all creation, which is the source field, which is the grand creator spirit, because I get comms directly through my silver cord, the silver gold-mated one. So I have a job to do, right? Remember when I was a kid? Hey, listen, have a great day. I got a job to do. I don't have time. I don't have the time and energy to talk to you. I'm sorry, but I'm on a schedule. And what kind of a schedule is that? That's called a water table schedule, which is a mathematical firing order schedule. So I do not have time to chat with you. And that is a speed function. And the function of speed, which is the function of frequency, is the function of our metabolism, which is the basal metabolic rate, the speed at which we're recovering as a result of what we're exposed to. So I already knew at 4 years of age, they're going to throw the kitchen sink. They're going to throw every radioactive, every biological, neurological, if you will, and